Hello and welcome to music class today. Today for music class, I want to read you a book. And the book I want to read you is a very special book because it's one of my favorites. This book is called Because. And this book is one of my favorites because it's about a little girl who goes to a music concert and loves it so much that she decides to write music. And I won't tell you the ending quite yet. You'll have to read it with me to find out what the ending is. So I want you to pay very careful attention to the book as we read through it and listen very carefully because the ending is very special. Because a man named Ludwig wrote beautiful music, a man named Franz was inspired to create his own. Now, you don't know who Ludwig or Franz are quite yet, but we'll learn about them this year. They're very, very important men who lived a long time ago. Because many years later, people wanted to hear Franz's beautiful music. They formed an orchestra. Because a man had practiced since he was a kid, he was asked to join. Because a woman studied night and day, she too was asked to play. Because many others loved and practiced their instruments, there were enough musicians. Because someone created a poster about Franz's music, tickets were sold. Because the train conductor stopped the train at the Grand Concert Hall, the orchestra conductor arrived. Because the orchestra librarian had copies of the score, the orchestra rehearsed. This is an orchestra. An orchestra is a big group of musicians who play music together. We'll also learn more about the orchestra this year. Because workers checked the lights and the seats and swept the floors, the grand hall was ready. Because the time had come, the ushers opened the doors. Because somebody's uncle caught a cold. Someone's aunt had an extra ticket for someone special. Because the ushers helped the aunt and her special guest, they found their seats. Because everyone was there to hear beautiful music, it was quiet. What is this? That's right, this is the orchestra, a big group of musicians who are all playing music together. This is another beautiful picture of an orchestra. In row C, seat 14, sat the girl with the uncle's ticket. Remember, the uncle caught a cold, so this little girl got to go instead. She heard the beautiful music written by the man named Franz, and it changed her. The girl was changed. See her? She's right there. And she's changed because the music was so beautiful. From that moment on, the girl learned everything she could about music because it fed her. And soon she started to write music too. Because, like Franz, the young woman had something to share. Do you ever feel like you have something? Over time, the woman became very good because she worked very hard. And one night, her music was discovered because she was also very lucky. Then she was invited to perform her music at the Grand Concert Hall because so many people wanted to hear it. Her composition was dedicated to the uncle in row C, seat 14, because it was his ticket that brought her here. So here she is, performing a song that she wrote at the same place that she heard her first concert. And that night, someone else was changed. And that is how it happens. Now, I want to talk about why this is one of my favorite books. And it's because it talks about someone who was inspired. And that's the word I want you to think about. I want you to think about the word inspire. Now, some of you might know what this word means, and some of you might not, and that's okay. Inspire means to urge someone to do something good, something extraordinary, or something beautiful. For example, the orchestra in this book, remember the orchestra, which was the big group of musicians, inspired this little girl to do something extraordinary, which was write her own music. And then, because she wrote her own music was able to inspire somebody else. And that's such a beautiful thing. So I want you to think about the people in your life that have inspired you. And people can inspire other people in small ways. For example, maybe somebody held the door for you one time, and you thought that was really nice of them. So the next time you were walking through a door, you held the door for somebody else, because the person who held the door for you, they inspired you. They inspired you to do something good and hold the door for somebody else. Or it can be in big ways. For example, the orchestra inspired this girl to write music, write a big piece of music, and then she inspired somebody else to do the same thing. So you can inspire people in big ways and small ways. And remember, inspire means to urge someone to do something good, beautiful, and extraordinary. So I want you to think, do you inspire people? Has somebody inspired you?